Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Live with Ty. Better please.
Trying to take the rivalry to golf. And you guys are so much fun. I was thinking, so you're a little bit the amount of pressure expectation.
Live with Ty starts now.
Some know him as Wanna Get Faster, others know him as Muck Christian. With over 300,000 followers across Instagram and TikTok, he's the creator of all creatives when it comes to things track and field. Making his first appearance on the 8th episode of Live with Ty, the one and only Young Christian.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. So happy to have you here on the show. So you recently started something. You have something called Flight School. It's like an online subscription. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. Flight School is just, I guess starting out track, I didn't really have a coach. So my whole thing was just like, how am I going to improve in the off season? You know, because you have the coach during the season for high school, and then after that, you don't have him anymore. So for years, I just trained by myself, did workouts by myself, and I would write them down. And I was like, you know, there's probably a bunch of other high schoolers in my situation, and they want to go D1 too. So I just decided to put my workouts all online for them to just access and, you know, run faster with.
So you talk about having one coach, like kind of growing up. You said in an article that we're researching that you said that there was one coach that believed in you. But given where you are now, you're on Live with Ty, you're doing well for yourself. How that kind of, it doesn't make sense. How is that? You said you had one coach growing up.
Man, I mean, if you look at me now, or if you look at my pictures of me running now, you're like, there's no way there was a point in time when he wasn't an athlete. But
I mean, that's what I was thinking. You know, like literally, that's what I was thinking.
no cap. But honestly,
five coaches.
I looked like I had two left feet. You know what I'm saying? Like uncoordinated, couldn't do a drill, couldn't do anything, right? But one coach, my one jump coach, he was the first coach that really like knew my name and actually talked to me specifically, and was like, instead of saying you guys can improve, he was like, you specifically, I believe in you. And that's actually where the name Mooch comes from. It's
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah. So that he believed in me, he gave me that nickname, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. So you also talk about somewhat of a diamond in the sense that you were formed through some hardship in your track journey specifically. What's that all about?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I could give you like 3 or 4 stories. I mean, I could go on like for hours about all the hard stuff I've been through. But I would probably say like the biggest things were definitely the recruiting process with COVID. That was very rough for me. My senior year, I got injured. So the entire year I was just coming back I was rehabbing while I was running. So I would rehab Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday I would run in the meet and then see how well I would run in the meet. And I was like, okay, I need to rehab more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't that set you back a little bit, or it's that kind of you had no choice?
It was fate. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't know how it happened. Like even to this day, with all the knowledge that I've gained, I still don't know how I managed to progress through that season while I was injured. But yeah, that state meet, 2021, magic happened. I PR'd, ran 10.6. Coach looked at me, got recruited here.
So I was gonna ask you about that because you said you had some ties to Georgetown for a little bit, but of course you ended up at BU.
Yeah.
What's that?
All right. So earlier my senior season, when I was still running hurt, I probably ran about a 10.7, which it's pretty decent. And that got
for
me
what distance? What distance
for the 100 meter.
100 meter. Okay.
Yeah. So I was running 10.7, and the Georgetown coach, he reached out to me and he said we might have a scholarship for you. He never said 100%.
It's kind of lit.
But he said we might have a scholarship for you. So I was like, okay. In my young senior mind, I'm like, okay, I'm set for life. You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
Georgetown, it's legit.
I'm like, I'm good, you know. But then Georgetown specifically is a little weird with application processes and whatnot. But also like some things just fell through for me, and eventually, like by April, I lost my scholarship to Georgetown 100%. So it was May of my senior year, and I had nowhere to go. And then I just had to keep working. And then, like I said earlier, state just happened for me. And then I also got to run in the summer, and then that's when the coach really noticed me and was like, okay, I can really make a talent out of you.
So going through fall and spring your senior year in high school, you didn't have any offers, but then you got the offer in summer.
Yeah.
And then what was going through your mind when coach kind of reached out to you and was like, yeah, like, we got a spot for you? It's got to be massive, bro.
No, I just thank God, honestly, because like that is a miracle and a half. Like even hearing it in hindsight, the way I got my scholarship was crazy. Like one of the people who was on a full scholarship the summer before I came, last minute he decided to drop out and not run on the team anymore. So magically the coach got a scholarship out of the blue, and became mine.
And it became yours.
Yeah.
So a big part of you is also your social media presence. You are a massive creator on Instagram and TikTok. Some of the stuff you've put out, really, really funny. When did you start that journey? Was it during your time at BU? Was it before in high school? Or
It's hard to say, because really, like, I've always been kind of like creating content on the internet, and I used to do a lot more funny stuff. Well, I mean, I do funny stuff now, but like I used to do a lot more just purely comedy, just trying to make people laugh. And it started in COVID because I was just bored inside, you know.
at home like everybody?
Yeah, just like everybody else. And man, I just kept going and going and going, and eventually I got to like 10,000 followers on TikTok, something like pretty decent, like a decent size, you know. And then I was like, you know what? I love track, I love content creation. Why not just merge the two? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did, and it paid off with dividends for me.
So coming into BU, you kind of already had a little bit of a following.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But then that following has led to some amazing brand deals. Anybody out there watching, you can see the amazing watch that Leon has on his wrist. It's a Casio, and that's a paid partnership that you get with them. When you're kind of getting reached out to some brand deals that you have, because you have one with Casio, you have one with Creatine, you also have one with Yerba. What's that process like? It's like, man, we have to kind of get Leon on our stuff, or is it you reach out to them, you guys meet in the middle, or what's it like?
It really depends. Like, the space is so abstract right now. Like for G-Shock, I reached out to them multiple times, and they didn't respond
hooked you
to me.
up though.
They did. They
That
did
thing
hook me
is
up.
blinging.
It is
Like-
nice. It is really
Like
nice.
perfect timing, bro.
Perfect timing.
Come on.
Perfect timing. You might see that. You might see that this season. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, really?
Yeah,
Dude, that
yeah.
is crazy. That is crazy. So out of those three, like, probably deals, if you can say, of course, which one's your favorite?
Oh, I can't
Yeah,
even do
you
it,
can't
man. I
even.
can't even do it.
Okay, well, here at Live with Ty, that one's our favorite because it is, like, so bright in my face. So one thing also in this creative journey, one thing that, like, has always piqued my interest is that all the stuff you post is really, really funny. But the big stipulation about TikTok, about Instagram, any creators, you're always, it's like you might run out of ideas, but you never do. Like, I've been following you for a long time, and you're always posting stuff that's super funny, but also super relevant. How do you stay tapped into that source of creativity?
Well, I mean, you said the key right there is just relevancy. Because, I mean, things are always changing. Trends are always changing. So that right there is your bread and butter. And you can build so much off of just, like, what's going on today. You know, like, if you hear something in the news, now you have a million ideas that can work for what's going on today. And then once that passes, let's say something new happens. Let's say, I don't even know, like, something crazy happens. Now you can post about that and continue. Or what I like to do too is, like, sometimes you can go deeper into the same thing that you've already done. So, like, just because you've done something doesn't mean that you can't revisit it. A lot of times your followers, like, they like to see the same content that brought them to you. So
like repurposing it.
yeah.
That's something, guys, that's something we should definitely try here sometime. But you also got into fashion as well.
Yeah.
So that's what you're trying your foot at now. I've seen you have like little fit checks, of course. You're fitted there, and I have to say that Casio again is phenomenal.
Hey.
Who would you say is the worst dressed TikTok athlete on TikTok?
Oh my gosh, bro. I can't.
You have to, bro.
Worst dressed athlete on TikTok.
Yeah, there's a lot. Because everybody be stepping out, you know, NFL, NBA, college, hoopers, track stars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not everybody's stepping correctly, you know? Because there's fashion, there's mainstream, right? But there's some things that kind of fall out when they try to put something on, and they're like, it's not working.
Worst dressed is crazy though. Like, you put me on.
Dude,
You trying to start something right now, man. I don't know about that.
get that comment section going.
Yeah, not for real. Worst dressed? I don't know. I got to say, Jason. I would say the worst that I can think of right now is Jason Tatum. Like, he could really get his fits up.
Okay.
He
that's
could
fair.
get his fits up.
That's fair. So another thing about you is the mantra that you have. You say, be the one they whisper about, not the ones whispering. Where is that source of inspiration? It's brilliant.
Man, so my freshman year at BU, we went to regionals, NCAA regionals, which
Where did that take place?
that was in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were there, and the way like NCAA's works is it's all of the fastest people in the NCAA. So it's my freshman year. I'm seeing people I used to see on TV everywhere, just walking around. They look like normal people, and it's like a huge culture shock for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And by that time, I was already blowing up on TikTok a little bit and on Instagram as well. And then
What number were you at going into that?
I think Instagram, I was probably at like 7K, TikTok, 30, 40,
Okay.
you know, like 30, 40K. But I was noticing these people that I was seeing on TV, like look at me and then like whisper to their friends and like look at me and like say, oh, that's him. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
muck.
exactly. But the biggest thing about it that really like kind of like lit a fire inside me was the fact that I wasn't there to run. I was there on a relay, and our relay wasn't going to run, so I was just there just to be there. And all those people were there to compete, there to go to nationals, there to qualify for, you know, big meets like the Olympics, and then I'm just sitting there and they're looking at me. And I wanted to take it to the next step. I wanted to be the one that they looked at and they're like, okay, he's him. Like, he's the guy we need to watch out for. So that's kind of how I came up with it.
And you started documenting that journey kind of on Instagram and TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So what was the number? So you mentioned that at the NCAA, let's say your TikTok following was a little bit higher than it was your Instagram, right? When did you kind of overtake Instagram kind of compared to TikTok? Because right now, you might as well like be the most followed man on BU campus. Like honestly, guys, like we are in the presence, massive celebrity.
Hey, I don't know. Hi mom might have me beat right now, man. Hi mom might have me
For
beat.
now.
We'll see though. We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, when did I guess your Instagram kind of start to blow up? Like, was that in tangent with your grinding of like you as a track athlete?
Oh yeah. So like that year from that summer from freshman year to sophomore year, I was just posting 3 times a day, every day, like really editing my content to the most that I could.
Okay.
And at the same time, I was also just like in the lab working. Like I probably did like 5-hour workouts, and then I would come home and then just post, edit. So like all I was doing every day was just editing, working out, and then sleeping, eating. That's the 4 things I was doing the whole summer. So I would say like that June, I probably got 90,000 followers on Instagram.
Just like that.
Just in that 1 month. And then I just kept like keeping up that same formula, because at that point, like I knew what my followers wanted. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep just going. And I just kept doing it.
So the whole stipulation about on TikTok and Instagram, like there being an algorithm to kind of making yourself your own personal brand, it's real.
Oh yeah, it's definitely real. But I would say that it's a lot of times people tend to overcomplicate it.
What do you mean by that?
Like the algorithm is supposed to represent like what a normal person would want, like just walking down the street, or like what would catch a normal person's interest, you know? So like if what you're posting would catch like the random person walking on the street's eye, it'll probably blow up, you know? But usually what people will try to do is they'll try to like make it some orchestrated high level of like, you know, like they're Steven Spielberg or something. Mm-hmm. And that usually tends to like make people lose interest and just scroll.
Okay, gotcha. So that's what you mentioned about, you know, relevancy, which is something that you do well about. So another thing is at the NIL Summit. So because I'm guessing you're following and all that, those type of things, you were allowed to kind of be at that summit. And we actually have a little bit of a clip of you that we're going to show here of Leon at the summit. Take a look. So when that kind of happens, is that like an invite-only event? Great suit, by the way. Almost as good as mine. You know?
Appreciate it. Almost.
Yeah. Maybe you go to Summit 2 more times and it'll be right there. You know, maybe. But like, is that like an invite-only event? It's like, are you on their radar? How does that work?
It's a little interesting. So typically it's, you know, for people who are student athletes trying to get in the NIL space, trying to really grow their following, or who already have a following or are known for some reason. Some athletes there didn't really have big followings, but they were just known, like, you know, the meme of the little kid holding the Popeyes cup.
And he was there?
Yes, he plays football now, and he was there.
Where did he play football at?
I'm not sure.
He was there?
Yeah, he was there.
Bro.
I was like, this guy looks familiar.
That is crazy. Hilarious, though. How many times, like, okay, in a summer like that, how many times is he getting asked to hit the same pose? Because that's
oh my gosh, all the time.
Every time.
The cameras were following him 24/7.
How do you like that? If you got to talk to him,
he is a star.
Oh, he's
a star. Like oh my gosh, he's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so like back to what we were talking about, that NIL space. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what are the type of people that are brought there, and what is that being there at that summit, as it was? What does that do for you as a person with his own personal brand?
I would say, I got so many great connections from the NIL Summit, and just like meeting people in other sports and seeing how they approach, you know, not only, you know, trying to become a professional athlete, but then also trying to, you know, grow their following, grow who they are as a person. Mm-hmm. it's crazy because you see all these differing perspectives, all these people who have differing paths too. Like different, like some people may have got their followers over years, and other people may have gotten overnight, and then like
Or 1 month.
or 1 month,
Oh,
like
1 month,
like
guys.
me, right in the middle, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was definitely a life-changing experience. Like I've gotten so many great connections, so many people like mentors too. Like because there are a bunch of older people there who have been in the NIL space and been in the athletic space for years now, and they've just like been able to tell me, hey, this is how you grow your following, this is how you nurture it, this is how you monetize it, and this is how you get the most out of it. So
I was gonna ask, like you're set now then, pretty much, in the sense that you go to this summit, and you already have a following. From the people that I was there, you might have been the most followed there, besides the Popeyes guy that you were telling me about. Because his stuff is hilarious. But then it's almost like you're getting taught to just, grow more and more and more, which is exactly what you've done. So like, how real is that mentorship program that you've seen because of the summit?
Oh, I mean, I would say it's as real as it can get, man. Honestly, as real as it can get, because like there are things that like once you start seeing the goal that you're trying to reach, and you're like, okay, so this is what it's like to be successful as an athlete. This is what it's like, and you're talking to people who have been managers for professional athletes like Odell Beckham and LeBron and like big names like that, and you're like, wow, okay, so this is how he gets deals. This is how they negotiate. This is how it goes down in those quiet rooms and on those phone calls, like when they're really negotiating those big contracts. And you're like, oh, okay, now I can kind of apply the same thing that's gotten me this far to that next step and that next step. And now you're like, okay, you know what? This isn't impossible. Like I can do this. I can get there.
And the next thing you know, you're sponsored by Creatine and Yerba. Crazy. It's actually crazy. So one thing I also was saying about that event is like, you might as well have been one of the biggest names, but when I was researching them, you weren't even featured.
Yeah, I mean, it was very
That's
last
crazy.
minute.
Yeah.
It was very last minute. I have to say, it was very last minute. I DM'd them and I was like, oh, I didn't know that the summit was going to be in my hometown.
Oh, it was in Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was just like, I might as well come. So I DM'd them. I was like, hey, are you guys still accepting people? They were like, we'll accept you. And I was like, okay, that's all I need to hear.
And then you went there and had a great time. So that source of creativity, bringing your own personal brand, you also bring it back into the track and field space at BU. You're always creating these amazing content, but again, you're a star runner. And that's, I feel like, the main focal point of who you are, who want to get faster, who's Muck Christian. When you are taking that creativity into that track and field space, is that supported? Is that encouraged by your teammates, by your coaches? Because again, not everybody has their own personal brand like you, but like you do. You have a presence about that. What's that like? And getting support from your coaches, your teammates to like film this, or help me reach out to this person, or kind of how can you leverage your network to get you bigger and bigger opportunities?
Honestly, I would say now, like it's been the most the most accepting that it's ever been.
Okay.
Like from all fronts. Like I have teammates, the younger teammates, they were watching my videos when they were in high school. So now they see me, and like some of them are even doing content themselves. Shout out Thomas. And they're doing excellent at it. Like some getting 30K, 40K followers, things like that,
Yeah.
So that's.
They call you Unc too or not? Because they do.
They're calling me Unc.
Right.
They're calling me Unc. And I'm barely 21. I'm not even 21 yet, but hey, I mean, I guess Unc is Unc,
Yeah.
But, yeah, honestly, I would say it's really open, really supporting for them. As far as like coaching, my coach is really supporting as well because he realized like helps you recruit athletes, So the more I get my name out there, the more I get his name out there too, because he's an excellent coach. Then the more this program grows, and like I'm excited for him. I'm excited for everybody's growth because I feel like everybody's on a journey to kind of elevate themselves right now. So.
And that creativity, that space, that spark that you kind of bring to every room. We actually have a little bit of a clip of that, of Media Day, that we're actually going to show here.
Smile the camera, at the camera. You made me get down here, now I can't get up.
That was getting up. And then there's that one.
So when you're going into a shoot like that,
Yeah.
right? Is that something like coming into them, you kind of have like all your creative ideas kind of ready to go? Like, hey, let's try this, let's try that. And let's do this little pose like that with the legs hanging in the air. That's iconic, Or is it just kind of on the fly? Your teammates are like, let's try this, let's try that.
I would say it's half and half. usually like I try to go in there and I try to plan things, but then you'll see like sometimes the things you plan, they don't turn out 100% like how you want them to. So it's like maybe we'll try this, maybe we'll try that, or like maybe we'll try to like iterate it halfway through, you know. But yeah, I mean that right there, that was just off the top of the dome. Like,
And that's your sophomore year. And it seems like the creativity, again, that sparked the, that it factor that you definitely have, it carried on to the track. So that year, you were first team All-Patriot League with your teammates, and then you're also second team All-Patriot League in the indoor season. Do you feel like there's a correlation between the two? Being like, you're the it factor on that online presence, and then you killed it in the track as well?
I would say that there's definitely a correlation. I don't know, I feel like I excel mentally, physically, and like even spiritually, just like whenever I can just express myself, and naturally, type of person that I am, I like to express myself. Like,
I mean, you're here now, bro. Express away.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I might have to do some cartwheels or something. Hey, don't tell me what I can and can't do now, man.
Hey, we'll let you do it, man. You got the space for it.
Nah, I just gotta practice. Like I might, tweak a hand me. I don't want to do that.
No, we don't want it.
Yeah, we don't want to do that now. But yeah, man, like I would say, it really like I just it just helps because it just helps your mental. If your mental's right, especially in track, your physical is gonna be 10 out of 10, 110%.
So looking forward in that sense, because you didn't compete last year because you had an injury, but also a little bit, I guess, cause of controversy in the sense where there was a moment where you're like, I want to step away from BU. So my question to you is that when you've had so much success here, right? When you've done PRs, when you've made first team in all leagues and all conference like that, what could have maybe tilted your head to maybe look at other options? Are there bigger opportunities? Was this kind of not what you're looking for? Because you're back here, end of like discussion, like you're back here. But in that, when again BU might lose a great asset in you, what is going through your mind to almost make that decision?
Man, I mean, it was a bunch of factors really. Probably the biggest was just coaching and just support through different staffs like athletic training and whatnot. And I mean, ultimately, like, it was kind of a perfect storm of just like negative events to happen and like
stuff hitting the fan.
Yeah, like stuff hitting the fan.
Right away into pores.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, I would say like there's always going to be those moments where you're like, okay, I need to get out of here. But then also, I was at a point where not only was I trying to get out of here, but like when I was looking back at what I was in, it was getting better while I was complaining about it. Like I was like, oh, this is terrible. Like, oh, there's no way I can succeed here. But we're getting a new coach and we're getting a new athletic trainer, and like the entire processes of how we're running stuff is being changed. We have a new athletic director, and it's like, you know what? This is literally the same thing as if I was to transfer. So why not save the time and the energy from picking up all those heavy boxes and moving and just staying here? So
there's a podcast that you're on. It's called Talking It Out. Shout out Martin. Where you said, and I quote, it said, "This is not the environment for what I work for." What do you mean by that back then? Because that was last year. And now coming in to being here at BU, competing this fall, how's that changed?
Man, like that was right in the middle of like, that was in the eye of the hurricane.
Oh, the eye of the storm.
Yeah, that was in the eye of the hurricane.
Like what Florida's about to get hit with.
Maybe worse. But hey,
Bro, I don't know.
Thoughts and prayers to Florida, man.
Yes, please. Thoughts and prayers to Florida. But keep going.
But yeah, I mean, I would say like I work so hard, like I feel like out of all the people that I've ever met, I work the hardest. All of my teammates, all of my peers, and respect all of them. Like I've known some hard workers too. Like I'm not trying to badmouth them. Hey, I haven't seen you work though. That's one thing, I haven't seen you work. So hey, you might have me beat. You might be the first one.
That's fair.
But I doubt it. I'm not gonna lie, I doubt it. But
Appreciate
yeah, I just work hard, man. Like I work really, 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 really hard, and it's like sometimes you'll see that work pay off, and then back then, like I wasn't seeing my work pay off, and I was just like, this isn't what I worked for. Like I didn't work to be mistreated by those who are in charge of me, And I feel like sometimes like you'll think that things aren't going your way, but you just got to be patient, Like sometimes like it's gonna go your way, you just gotta wait a little bit more. Like it's like you making some popcorn. If you try to take it out too soon, half the kernel's gonna be gone. You eat half the popcorn. you know, you got to throw it in the
That's
microwave a
good
little bit
one.
longer.
How do you? They're always creative. This guy, it's crazy. It's crazy. So as you look forward, coming back from an injury, what can we hope to see from you this season? Is there going to be even a more online presence, more stuff on the track? What can we hope and look to see from Leon Christian?
Hey, I mean, I want to keep it a surprise for the most part, just because like that's how I run. But you're gonna see greatness.
Greatness.
You're gonna see greatness for sure, in all facets. You're talking about on the track. We're talking about celebratory wise. We're gonna talk about social media, maybe even something else. Maybe an NIL. You might see me
Crazy.
rock an NIL jersey or something if they let me. But you're gonna see greatness. For
Can
sure.
this greatness help BU get sponsored by anybody else besides Under Armour? Because you always get clowned on that for that. You made it D1, you had a great journey. But, you know, maybe your greatness helps us get like Nike. That'd be nice. That would be nice.
It would be.
So
It would be
BU and
amazing.
Nike school, we used to be Nike.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, we used to be Nike.
Hey, that would be so great. But that might be out of my hands, man.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, in the words of Leon Christian, be the ones they whisper, not the ones whispering. Be sure to keep up with all things Mutt Christian on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Until next time, I'm your host, Tyler Johnson.